So, football, that great American sport that makes being an American worth being an American. I don't really care for it. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just not that appealing to me. Like, I understand, the running and the throwing of the pigskin, all that good stuff, it's all American. It's great, but it's just not me. Now, granted, I do understand that football takes a lot of skill and a lot of talent and in some cases some luck. I get that. I understand. I'm not hating on football players. I'm just hating on the sport itself. Now let me explain what I mean by that. This hate, well, not hate, more of a disdain towards it. Disdain. Can I even spell disdain? Distain. That sounds about right. Anyways, like, I understand with any hobby or thing you want to pick up, you have to learn about it. But I could just never wrap my head around football. You got the zone plays, you got the running plays, you got the different positions. And you're probably like, well, that's a pretty stupid reason why you don't like a sport or something. Well, let me explain to you how this affected me in such a negative way that I now disdain from liking such sport. So this takes place around the 7th grade. I was on the football team. Yeah, your boy was an athlete. I was out there hitting them Odell Beckham Juniors at 12 years old, baby. Psych, I wasn't. I was on the bench as the last player who would get picked, if at all. Yeah, I was trash at football. I wasn't good, alright? I was a small kid. I was maybe like 5'4", maybe something like that. Maybe like just barely 100 pounds. Like, I was one of the skinniest dudes, if not the skinniest dude on the field, alright? But anyways, that's besides the point. My disdain for the sport comes from a simple practice at school. So we're all broken up into teams. There's like the first string, the second string, the third, the fourth, and then there's me on the 5th string with all the other players. So I'm on the bottom bracket. And so as we're doing our drills, they break us up into like smaller divisions of our like positions. They do quarterbacks, running backs, linebacks, all that different stuff. And then they end up coming to the cornerbacks. Now I'm going to put a pin in this real quick. So if you don't know, the cornerback is the guy who blocks the wide receiver from catching the ball. That's all it is. What I didn't know at the time was that there was a different name for it. I didn't know that a cornerback was also called a defensive end. That would soon come to haunt me within the next 5 minutes. So picking up on the story, he breaks us up and he says all of my defensive ends over here. Now mind you, I am a cornerback. He said defensive ends, so I stay where I am. Him being the coach, he knows everyone's position. So when he sees me standing there, he says, "What are you doing, Armani?" And I says to him, "Sir, I'm a cornerback."
You serious?
And immediately, without skipping a beat, he looks me in my eyes, grabs me by my jersey, and he says, "Clown, that's the same thing." I can't tell you the embarrassment that I felt that day, but it was easily one of the top 3 most embarrassing things in my life. Because he said it loud enough for everyone on the team to hear. So now not only does everyone know that I am they already knew that I was a bottom bracket football player, but they also know that I didn't even know that a cornerback and a defensive end was the same thing. So I pretty much just looked at my coach and said, "Oh, my bad." And that's where the disdain comes from. I mean, that moment really, it changed my life. It was a pivotal point that I will forever remember to this day. One that I will carry with me to my grave. So with that being said, yeah, football sucks. Go basketball.